I don't know any successful gangsters, you know. Like I said earlier, is these streets has an expiration date.
A 15-year-old boy is now being held in connection to a shooting that injured 4 teenage girls. 3 people are hurt in 3 separate shootings.
The boy was rushed to Memorial Hospital, but detectives say he didn't make it.
1 person dead and as many as 10 other people injured during a shooting outside of a South Bend, Indiana bar.
My name is Rose Meisner. I'm president of the Community Foundation of St. Joseph County. And one of the things we're really committed to is trying to reduce gun violence in the community. Over the years, and I've been in the community for a long time, I've heard stories about people being affected by gun violence in their neighborhoods. I've always lived in the downtown area. I started out being really moved by stories of people saying that bullets could come through their window while they were sitting at the kitchen table or sitting on their porch. And I thought nobody should have to live in fear like that.
My name is Scott Ruskowski, and I'm from South Bend, Indiana. 43 years, lived right in the heart of the city. So I can hear the gunshots from my house, and on my way home, and on my way to work, and on my way to go shopping, and on my way to get something to eat. But people weren't calling it in. And when you do talk to a mom who's had her kid sleeping in a bathtub every night because of the gunfire in her neighborhood, then you realize, quite frankly, you suck as a cop. You suck as a police department. Because if we drive away when our shift is over and we look in our rearview mirror and go, "Whew, glad that's over," that mom with her kids on, she never gets to do that. She puts the kids in the bathtub every night so her kids don't get killed.
My name is Lynn Coleman. Currently I work for Memorial Hospital, Beacon Health Systems, and I work in the trauma department. I work with patients that come to the hospital that's been involved in some type of traumatic deal related to violence. Having been a police officer at the time, retired at the time, and had been involved in gang crime stuff for the police department, juvenile services for the police department, and a black man from this community, I was just concerned enough as a community member to try to engage and see what I could do to help.
My name is Isaac Hunt. I'm the supervisor for the Group Violence Intervention for the Social Services. I oversee the SAVE outreach team, which stands for Standing Against Violence Every Day. My personal motivation, because of the background in which I have, serving 10 years in penitentiary for voluntary manslaughter, is to help reduce violence in our community among African American and Latino men. But also it is to provide an opportunity of hope for our people, not through a hand of a give out, but also through a hand of how can we assist you to be better than you are today.
There was a lot of consensus on the part of the mayor and the police chief and the community that we needed to try to do something about gun violence. So I came to understand from David Kennedy and his work that a lot of the gun violence is driven by people who are members of groups and dynamics that come about when people try to protect each other or take revenge on others.
So overall, it's like less than 1% of our entire population in South Bend that are committing these heinous acts. And that was what was known.
So in pretty short order, we put together this A-list of leaders from our community to go to Manhattan to get training. And they put their credibility on the line to tell the community this is worth trying.
It was an attempt to try to engage police, law enforcement, community, service agencies, organizations together to, number one, identify the problem area, and then to collectively work on it to try to resolve it.
So, starting briefly, our infancy stages of 2014, we brought in GVI.
The 3 letters stands for Group Violence Intervention. What it means to me is a group of individuals from the community coming together to interrupt violence in our community with the offer of help right? An offer of hope, an offer of stability, an offer of economic restorative justice.
A lot of people think of this as a program, and a program is something that has an ending. This is not, this is a strategy, and a strategy always changes. We're going to people's houses and knocking on doors and putting door hangers on and going, you've had a gun violent activity in your neighborhood. You may not feel like talking to us right now, but here's a number that you can contact us. If you don't want to talk to us, meaning the police, here are some other numbers that we can give you.
We have 78 social service partners, which is amazing because we have more than any other social service agency in the United States.
When people have hope and dreams that they can do things, they can be things, they can go places, it replaces hatefulness, and, all of those things that keep us divided as human beings.
What I love about GVI and the strategy is that it unites the whole community around our responsibility to each other.
This is a whole community effort, it's not just the police. Because I know that we can't be everywhere at once. Just this past weekend, again, our SAVE team, our Goodwill people, our council members were out and about till 2 or 3 in the morning trying to deal with situations that wouldn't turn into gun violence, and they've been out there.
We got to open up doors for individuals that are on probation or parole to be able to attain full-time employment, to have a quality of life. We have to help individuals become parents, teach them how to be parents. We also got to be able to give individuals opportunity to trades and jobs. These things are coming down the pipe. We got to show them the love of what St. Joe County and South Bend really is.
When we talk to somebody or anybody who is a victim, a witness to, or a suspect in gun violence, we offer services outside of the police. Getting people who are most susceptible to this violence, whether or not a trigger puller or an unfortunate recipient, getting them the help that they need so we can stop that next airbrushed t-shirt. We don't want any more families affected by this.
Everyone we can save, everyone that we can help, helps better our community. To give them an opportunity for an out, to do something positive for themselves, to give them an opportunity to see a better light.
What keeps me going and what keeps me moving and keeps my drive going is individuals such as a Jimmy Lottie, who never had a driver's license, who sold dope around the city, who now has a driver's license and drives semis and owns his own semi. To see the mothers and stuff that we've been able to provide services to who are now able to assist their children and be mothers and parents to their children. To see individuals be able to pay child support and get relationships with their child, to be fathers, and not have recidivism of them going back. But being able to hold their head up and say, I am a man, and I'm free. I'm alive and free because somebody helped me.
A few years back, so I got in trouble with the law as far as drugs, alcohol, and firearms. I did a nice little piece of time in prison. I got out and I had to report over to Goodwill, and I got into the program. It kind of wasn't my style at first until I started halfway listening to what was going on. My good thing was it was job training. I spoke to Mr. Hunt one day, and I told him, man, you know what? Growing up, I always wanted to be a truck driver. He's like, man, you can get your CDL, and I can help you, do it or whatever. And he was serious. So later on down the line, I ended up with the Class A CDL. I really didn't believe it until all these different trucking companies come and trying to get me to work for them. I'm like, man, nobody never in my life asked me, can you come and work for me? I'm the guy always get the door slammed in his face. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm gonna go apply for this job. $7 an hour, $7.50 or whatever. Nah, I'll get out of here. Now I went from not having a job at all, making $70,000 a year. I'm not looking over my shoulder anymore. I'm not in prison anymore. I'm around my children now. I'm just free and I'm alive.
David Miller from South Bend, Indiana. My dad's name Juan Xavier Miller, murdered, gang violence. His death made me have a lot of revenge and anger, and I was always looking for a father figure, and I clinged to the wrong things. My cousins, they're gangbanging. I started following their footsteps, selling drugs from 9, something around there, smoking weed every day around 13. So I was really off the chain. As soon as I went to the pod, I see Isaac Hunt. He was like, dude, you off the chain, I ain't coming back. You either take what I'm offering you now, or I ain't messing with you. I looked at him like, he crazy. This is my life. This is what I do. You know, I don't care what the hell he talking about. Don't know why he came back, but I'm glad he did. He had a plan already before I even called him. Talked to my probation officer. I got out, got put on the house arrest ban, and started GVI at Goodwill. He's the closest guy that I could say that I thought as a father figure. One time, I didn't come to a meeting or something, or I didn't show up for work for a couple days. We was gonna have a Latin King meeting that day. People were about to get violated. He came in there, grabbed one of my cousins that was in the program. He was like, these two come with me. A couple people that didn't know Isaac, they started to get all rough, but Isaac, they coming with me. Like, did he not know that he could get hurt right now? He didn't care though. He came there with a purpose. Purpose was to get us out of this situation. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro, that's love. That's love. This GVI is important, and I'm living proof. If you went ahead and did that, guarantee you I will not be here. These are just facts. I'll be in prison, probably dead.
To see South Bend safer, and what are we committed to? Everything. Whatever it takes, based on what our community is telling us, that's what we're going to do.
My hope is that we persevere. My hope is that we remain true to the principles, that we continue to find ever better ways to implement, and that we continue to enlarge the circle of trust.
We keep looking for this big thing to fall out of the sky, but the major impact is made by an individual. Each one can reach one.
Stop a cop out there on the street and ask him or her, what is this GVI thing about? And if you don't get an answer, call me.
We are more than willing to take assistance and help from anybody in this community because it's going to take all of us to save this city.
I'm Scott Ruskowski, and I am GVI.
My name is Jimmy Lottie, and I am GVI.
My name is Rose Meisner, and I am GVI.
I am Lynn Coleman, and I am GVI.
My name is David Miller, and I am GVI.
My name is Isaac Hunt, and I am GVI.